Hey, it's Ms. Brooke. I'm going to show you how to finalize your artwork. Check out my new hairdo. I'm feeling it today. Anyway. All right, let's learn about how you finalize your project so you can get it turned in, graded, and onto a really excellent deluxe.
So when you have your artwork done, the first thing you need to do is remove it from the cardboard. Okay, so you need to pull this off. Now, we want to save the cardboard for future projects. So when you pull it off gently, I recommend using your hand and kind of sliding it under. You need to keep this. This just comes over here to this table, and we're going to slide it into the black learning goal, which is a monochromatic art piece. It is a deluxe level, meaning that you've added tons of detail. There's my finger. And you have all the things needed. It needs to be a landscape or a social issue. Your level of craftsmanship is also at a 4. Sorry, I fried on my finger. That means you painted really well. Kat did an excellent job. You definitely see her story. You definitely see monochromatic. She definitely has everything ready. So now it's time to mount it. One thing about being an artist is for you to display your work. So to do that, you're gonna need a couple of things. You're gonna need a glue container, okay? And you're also gonna need to come over to this black cabinet, and over here is paper. Now when you're coming to select your paper, you wanna think about the color you're choosing. Since she used a blue artwork, I think I'm gonna do something a little bit opposite to make it pop out. So I think I'm gonna choose red, okay? You're also going to need, almost forgot, a tag. Now, I probably should have cut these out ahead of time, but art tags are what you use when you go to museums. You see artists that use this. Is where you put your name. In this case, you're gonna put your class period, your title of your artwork, and then the medium you use, which means the materials you use. I have two options, black ones or white ones, so you can choose whichever one looks good for what you're doing. But basically, you're going to take this and mount it here. Now, when you're coming to line it up, since her artwork is vertical, I'm going to actually line it up this way. Now, I'll give you a trick. One thing that you'll see in museums is people actually mount their artwork, and they always allow extra on the bottom. So when I come to mount this, notice I'm lifting it a little bit higher. This area here is a little bit smaller. This is a little bit bigger, and this allows room for the tag, okay? So when you put this down, how it's gonna work, it's gonna be a little bit tough because of this paper and the temper we used on it. You see how it's kind of rolling up because hers was taken off the cardboard. It's not keeping it flat anymore. It's gonna take a little bit more to get hers done. So I'm gonna take the sponge out, and I'm actually gonna let it dip and fall onto the lid. Sorry, everything is harder one-handed. Wish I was a YouTube pro, not that skilled. If you do dip this in, just know your hands are gonna get very gluey. So I'm gonna put this on the lid, okay? If you get finger glue on your fingers, no big deal. Just wipe it onto your artwork. But basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your artwork and you're gonna place it onto the sponge, kind of gingerly. Once you do that, you can see the glue attaches to the back, but you want to actually like go around and cover it pretty well. I notice I'm trying to go to get the corners even. I'm gonna go just like side by side. Make sure I cover it. And it's okay if you have glue on your fingers and it touches the top of your art because glue dries invisible. So when you're done, check it. If it looks nice and gluey, good. Now I'm gonna take this guy, lay it a little bit in the middle, and I'm gonna start to rub it down. This is where I'm gonna put the camera down. Sorry, I hope you don't get, hope you don't get crazy. I can't see. There we go. But I want you to start laying this down, making sure that it is completely down. And if it's not quite down the way you want it to be, just slide it over a little bit. Remember, the glue dries clear. Now, I recommend at this point, once you have gotten it nice in the middle, you'll notice these edges are wanting to like curl up. Flip it over, but make sure the table's clean. And really give it a good back massage, okay? The more you massage it, the more likely it's gonna be to stay, okay? If you do the back side too, it'll also help you to put pressure onto it and allow for it to flatten. Okay. If you're still having a hard time with it wanting to stick, you can come over and borrow like a heavy book or something. But I really feel like if you just put a nice massage, it'll be fine. Okay. Now, once I have this mounted, now I'm going to want to take one of these tags. Okay. And this tag I have to cut out, so I'll be right back to add this on. So now I have either two options. You may want to see if you prefer the white tag or if you prefer the black tag. I think because she used such dark colors, I actually kind of prefer the black tag. So I'm going to do the same thing. Take this, press it onto the sponge. Notice I'm not pressing quite as hard because this paper is thin, so it doesn't need as much glue. I'm going to make sure it lines up pretty well in the middle. Okay, give it a back massage. Still keeping an eye, like if pieces start coming up on this, go ahead and press it down again. Then I'm going to tag it. So this is Catherine's art. I'm going to put Cat H. She's in period 4. I don't know her title, I'll also have to add that. And then her medium is Tempera Paint. Now, if you use crayons too, you could add tempera and crayons, but you just choose. But everybody should be the same, okay? Notice I'm using a pencil on the black paper. On this paper, you can use whatever you want, but black paper needs something shiny like a nice pencil. So once this is done, the last step is you're going to flip this over, and on the back, you're going to glue your hamburger rubric, which I'm going to print out. And then you need to grade yourself and glue that back here. Okay. Now to finalize and get it ready for graded, you should grab these two papers. These papers are also going to be over here on the shelf in the green basket, which I haven't yet put here, but it's going to be. And then you're going to take these guys, and just like you did before, you're going to take this onto the sponge. Oh, curses. Don't be like me. You're going to take these guys, put some glue on it. Now remember, this paper also is thin, so it doesn't need a ton of glue, just enough to get the corners really. And then same as before, just back massage. It should line up pretty well. And then make sure you have room to put both on here. That way, and I'm just gonna hit the corners with this guy because that's all it really needs. Now that I'm done, I'm gonna line this beast up here. Sorry, this whole one-handed thing is kind of tough. Now it's your job to fill it out, okay? So there's a couple questions on here. You need to please put your name and your period. You need to tell me what type of hamburger is your artwork. So this is where you're gonna come down here. Did you meet the standard and you just didn't do anything above that? Did you do a deluxe work? Circle where you think you are. And then you need to write it down here. I am a standard work because blah, blah, blah. Then what makes your art this kind of hamburger? How do you see it and why? And then I want you to tell me, how did you show that your art is monochromatic? And then why did you choose a landscape or the social issue like Picasso? Like, why did you choose your topic? And what do you want people to think or see when they look at your art? Next up is you're gonna go meet with somebody. This is where you're gonna put the kid's name who does your artwork critique. And this is your art piece. And then they need to tell you something nice, ask you a question, and then write the answer to, and then give a suggestion. Once you've completed all that, it's then time to give to me. We'll go over it together. You'll get a grade. And last but not least, we need to come through here, get your portfolio out, and place this to go inside. I do have those really cool bulletin boards, which I would love to hang them outside. So if you're open to letting it go outside, then you let me know. But this is the final piece ready for grading. When you're done, make sure you clean up your spot, trash goes away. And last but not least, sorry, my breakfast is here, yummy. This sponge needs to go back into the container. Life fail, it should actually go all the way in. And if you get a little bit of glue on your finger, don't freak out. If you want to, you could just rub your fingers together until it goes away. Or walk over here, grab a paper towel, wipe that bad boy off. And then you're good to go. Okay? All right, let's make some beautiful art, people.